And from our studio here in Accra, live on DSTV channel 421 and GoTV channel 125, this is Joy News Prime, live around the world on myjoyonline.com. Coming up, some communities record low voter turnout at the district level election, while EC postpones elections in some districts in the Ashanti region due to delays in supplying voting materials.
We are expecting 700 people, but as at now we have only 22 people who have voted successfully.
Well, some aspiring assembly members are counting their losses as the electorate failed to show up due to the cancellation of the election.
Isaac, cocoa, oats, a lot of food. Siswan pa na obi okoye competent pa na kaya adwuma we ati yisi no obey say adwuma we.
Well, did you vote? We have a poll on social media. We'll be sharing that with you in the course of the bulletin. Now, also coming up tonight, the company at the center of the controversy in the petroleum downstream sector, SML, embroiled in further contradiction as the head of IT contradicts the managing director's denial of $3 billion in annual revenue savings.
With the tax component that we are not even using the 1.74, we are using the old tax component, which is 1.44. That will arrive at the 3 billion that we talked about.
That's why that 3 billion, I'm not. That's why I told you from the beginning. I said I don't know about this 3 billion.
And there's more as the OSP extends invitation to the MD of the embattled company for further investigations. Coming up, we will take you to the Ewoya in the central region where residents are brimming with anticipation following the establishment of Ghana's first lithium mines.
What we've heard is that work will soon begin, but we haven't seen it yet. And that is what we're waiting for. We're waiting for the mining to begin.
Now, some districts in the Ashanti region, including Bantama, South, Sontreso, Echima Wabieja, Echima Mponia, Dadeso, and Santase, did not vote in the district level election today. These areas have been exempted from the exercise due to the Electoral Commission's delay in delivering their voting materials. The EC has, however, scheduled their elections for Wednesday, December 20. Nana Boakye Yadom has been monitoring the situation in these areas and joins us live. Nana, give us an update of what really happened in these areas.
District level election here at the Zongo district. So much excitement from voters and electorates over here. You can see a number of people who pulled out to join the celebration. Jubilant supporters of the incumbent assembly member who has just won his re-election bid. He joins me here. So much excitement from your supporters. How do you feel after winning this election?
I'll say Alhamdulillah. Alhamdulillah, we thank God for this great victory. It has been a long battle, so we thank God for the victory that is granted us.
Were you impressed with the voter turnout today?
I think we have to improve it because we have more than 8,000 voters in this community, but I'm not sure whether the voters have reached 2,000. So I think we have to improve the number of voters.
Looking at the gap, is it what you were expecting from your other opponents?
I was expecting much more. Because he's not a match. I was expecting much.
He's not a match for you?
He's not a match at all.
Really?
We are 3 in number. They were not a match for me. They were not a match for me.
So you make mention of the fact that we have to improve it so that we can get people to be so much interested in the process. What do we have to do?
I don't know because of where my mind is. But I think we have to encourage people to come out and vote. Yeah, seriously, we did our best. But I think maybe the EC, the NCC, we have to do a lot to encourage people to take part in the district assembly election. What we've done here is because of what the candidates have done. That's why we are seeing the enthusiasm. But I think the EC, the NCC, and all the stakeholders have to get involved. Yeah.
Okay, thank you so much for speaking with us. Your name, please.
My name is Isaac Ali Sambo, the assemblyman elect for Ejai Zongo electoral area.
All right, so he was the incumbent assembly member, and then he went for a re-election. And fortunately for him, he has won his re-election bid. as the assemblyman-elect for the Eija Zongo electoral area. Hence the excitement you see over here. So much supporters of the incumbent assemblyman gathered here at the coalition center for the Eija Zongo. So much of them, some of them are so excited because they threw their support for the assemblyman, and then fortunately their candidate has won his re-election bid. But then generally, I must say that it is not just the Eija Zongo. So much excitement at some districts that we have visited right after counting began. Let me speak with this woman. Mami, okotu abanibi.
Honorable Assembly, Ali Sambo,
Me who say obo duku ye bawi ND Suduku politicized na.
Debbie, and the politics side about MPP for the politics. And Miss Mimiti Hakura, me finish talk about me buy my quatu abani was talk about Baba.
And two for Sokoban Abba to Abamaunia.
Maybe me to know.
What to know about Baba supporting?
I support to me, bra. Me, oh my organizer. But me best support to me, bra.
Now, one no to Abba.
Me to your parliament.
All right, so she's coming all the way from Sokoban. She came to support her brother who is seeking to be elected as assemblyman for Eija Zongo. Fortunately for her, brother...
All right, so we're bringing you much more on this very, very pretty shortly. But let's share with you the poll that we've mounted on X to understand whether you voted or no. We're asking a simple question. Were you able to vote in the district level elections today? We have yes or no so far. 19.9% say yes. A whopping 80.1% of the vote so far say no. That's quite interesting. Now, so let's go back to the Ashanti region. You heard there in the beginning of the bulletin that some assembly members prepared food, but they were not. Again, we want to get a roundup of what really happened in the Ashanti region. And I'm grateful for you to join us here. Give us a wrap of what really happened in the Ashanti region today.
All right, so Ben, you know that some districts in the Ashanti region, including Santasin Shire, so Atwema Mponia, Atwema Nwabieja, that did that so, and then Barekese did not join this district level elections today. They were exempted from the process because of some technical challenges, and others were also exempted because the EC delayed in delivering their electoral materials. And so some of the candidates aspiring to become assembly members and unit committee members besieged the EC office in the Ashanti region to demand answers from the EC boss, Mr. Banobio. But unfortunately, the EC boss failed to respond to their concerns because he says that the EC herself has issued a communique to address their concerns. But we can listen to some of these candidates who besieged the EC office as they shared their sentiments on the financial losses they've made so far. Some claim that they shared money for transportation and also did prepare some meals for the voters. Also, where are they?
So I'm free. I'm to I'm to no more. Meso me area woman. Sort ya say, inti omo ba me side. Inti masa ye aduane wo fie kura apart from ketra no. Ma ye aduane wo fie a.
From jollof no say ye fufuo.
Fufuo. Tilapia ni dwana mo kwan.
Anka wo de ma omo beto aba.
Ni suwum. Omo beto aba. Ma chese. Me hu dia menya me ho kura.
Ye ma me buta no fufuo. Isaac anoa mo ya noa cocoa oat, a lot of food. So I say, yes, I'm keska, I'm for Edibefaka Aba, Omu say keska, 80, Sir Keskania, Ayako.
Jeffrey Obano.
This has Kenny Nayaqua. Yes, I be Cheska for fro. So they be sure, as I have a boss uncle for Nia for fro.
Momoboka saying, I was saying, anyway now.
A lot of money. Old currency, millions. So I say
for assemblyman about to
yes. So I say 80 siswan pa na obi okoye competent pa na kaya adwuma we yisi no obey say adwuma we.
Well, so Nana is still with us. So Nana, after these people had spoken when the election had been postponed in the area, what really transpired in those areas afterward?
Well, they are not going to vote today. In fact, they did not get a chance to vote today, not at all. They are going to vote on Thursday. But then when I was at the EC headquarters in the Ashanti region, those who were unable to vote because of the delay in delivery of their electoral materials had their electoral materials submitted to the EC office in the Ashanti region. So I can say that, as a matter of fact, the voting materials for some of these districts are in. They were being brought in by the EC officers, and they are currently at the EC headquarters in the Ashanti region. So probably on Thursday, just as the EC said, they would be having their elections.
Okay. But what happened to the food?
Well, the food brace, we don't know what happens to the food. The woman's jollof her fufu, we don't know what will happen to it. But then later on, we'll follow up and then bring you up to speed details on what happens to the food.
Okay. Please tell her that there's a bus coming from Kumasi. If she can put them on, we are here to receive them. Well, that's what happened there. Now, low voter turnout were recorded at most polling stations within the airport residential area, with middle and upper voters reluctant to participate in the district level elections. My colleague Kenneth Jesse visited some centers hours after polls opened and has more.
Voter turnout within most electoral areas of the airport residential enclave in Accra were largely low, which is perhaps reflective of the non-interest in the district level elections by the middle and upper class voters in the country. The presiding officers of the Electoral Commission were, however, pleased with the orderly manner of the process.
It's been okay. It's been smooth. We are expecting 700 people, but as at now we have only 22 people who have voted successfully.
As we started, most of them were confused and asking questions about it, but our presiding officer educated them about it, so I don't think they're having a problem about that.
No misunderstanding or qualms were recorded at the places we visited. Some electorates that spoke to the news team were also pleased with the process and encouraged others to get involved.
It's good to vote for this particular exercise because when you want development, it starts from the community. So each and everyone should at least show concern by voting to make the community also pick up to meet the national grid.
Around 7 something to 8 before they set up everything. Some people are ready to go to work, but they wanted to vote. So we were here waiting for them. And the voting started around 7 something to 8.
The Electoral Commission projected a 60% voter turnout for the district assembly elections, but it appears that number is far too ambitious if the unsurprising low voter turnout within the airport residential area is anything to go by. For Joy News, I'm Kenneth Jesse.
Bokiase in the Ghana North constituency, twins face a peculiar identity challenge in the district level elections. The software that replaces the indelible ink as a marker for voters who cast their ballot fails to recognize the biometric of one twin sister. My colleague Sweetie Alborchi has a story.
You're catching up with Dr. John Halm, who is the parliamentary-candidate-elect on the NDC ticket for this constituency. Honorable, thank you for joining us for a brief conversation.
Thank you very much.
I'd like to know, in your perspective, what have you observed so far, and what do you think about the electoral processes since morning?
Well, it's very good. So far, so good. A few places that I visited this morning, the exercise is going on smoothly. One or two things has been observed. That is, the turnouts at certain places are quite a bit low. But coming to Pokwasi electoral area, I realize the turnout is much appreciable.
We know that the NDC is not particularly excited about the not using the indelible ink as we've done for years now. And what do you think? Because some of the officials have told us that they've not had any problems yet with the software. What do you think, or what have you observed, in your opinion, the processes without the indelible ink?
Well, it's not the traditional thing we know of our election processes in Ghana. So it's quite a new thing, which I think is not the best for us. What about, I think it's a recipe for any disaster, because someone can go and then come back again. But because it's a community, many people knows of, themselves. And so therefore, probably that may be as a check. But the reality is that it's not the best thing that we want to welcome in this country, because that is the only identification that indicates that one has really gone out to vote. And so if there is no any identification, it means that the system is open. Anyone at all can come in again and then vote 2-3 times, which could be vote rigging, which is not the best for us.
Still here at the Gun North constituency at the Methodist Church polling station, where we had a situation involving two women, twins, where one person came earlier to exercise her franchise. The system had some challenges capturing her fingerprints, but she went through the facial recognition system successfully and was able to cast her ballot. The second sister came in and was unable to, the machine was unable to recognize her fingerprints and her facial features. It appears because the first sister, who is a twin sister, had already been captured in the system, it is repeating as an already registered and voted person. We're speaking to the polling officer, the presiding officer, who tells us that this is the first time they're having any challenges at all with the software. However, there's a possibility that it could be the same person who's posing as two people. But we've had people, family and friends, tell us that they know these two women. They are familiar with them and they are twins. And we even spoke to their mother, who also is a twin. So the situation we just witnessed between the two sisters who claim they are twins, and the system has already picked one person and is rejecting the other person's fingerprints. Can you tell us exactly what happened?
I think you just narrated. They are twins. And it seems the other sister came and voted. So when the second person came in, when he put his finger on the thing, he's rejecting. It means she have voted already. So I think it's maybe, I don't know if blood-related issue or facial recognition or what. But I think if they could have used the indelible ink, when this one is in, they will know that, no, this is a different person. So they can call two partners that, or the agents, so that they can rectify, because definitely the name should be different in the register. So they may know that, oh, this one is a different person, this also is a different person. And I think they said this report have been coming from other places, for twins or maybe sisters, if not maybe twins.
Albert Ayin is the national coordinator for the Coalition of Domestic Election Observers, CODEO. He joins us live for more on the District Assembly's elections. Now, grateful for joining us here. First, so you follow the processes. What, in summary, is your observation of the process today?
I'm sorry, I didn't get you. Can you please repeat?
I just want to get your thought on what you make of the elections today.
Well, what I would say is that it has been operationally, it has been fine, except that some regions, for example, the Ashanti region, Eastern, and some parts in Central region, some military units never had the opportunity to cast their ballots at all because of this arrival or non-existence at all of ballot papers. And then it is generally characterized, or it was generally characterized by low turnout. I heard say, for example, out of a population of 2,000 people in 4 polling stations, only 50 people put together cast their ballot, which I think is very, very low. It's not good enough. So generally, the turnout, I think, is not going to be good. Even though it hasn't come out, I have a feeling that the turnout, as usual, for this assembly election is low.
Now, there are issues with the machine. For example, we heard that the machine was not able to pick the details of someone, that almost degenerated into something else. There's another machine that now replaces the indelible ink. With all of the challenges that we encounter today, what lessons must we as a country pick from as we head towards the 2024 general elections?
Yeah, for the first time, the EC chair, it says that we're not going to use the indelible ink, and in fact, he didn't actually use it. I think he was speaking on the strength of the fact that the BVD the biometric devices will be strong enough because it has stored the names of everybody. So, for example, if in one electoral area you vote in a police station, you want to vote together, the machine should be able to, give you up to catch you. So how about if the internet is not working? How about if the machine is faulty? That is where the problem must come in. So yes, technically she's right in saying that once your name has been captured, and once you vote, the machine tells you verify. If you come again, the machine will tell you you have been verified already, so maybe you are not going to vote. Technically that's fine. But the unfortunate situation might be where there will be a breakdown of the machine, the internet might not be working well, and these are the fears. And maybe as a backup, in future, the level could be used or could be put there for such emergency.
Very interesting. But there's also one troubling feature where some assembly members said, we have cooked, we have given monies out, and so we have to do it again. I mean, we've always been speaking about monetizing our elections. How worrying is this, and how can we prevent it from happening again?
How worrying is it? Is what? Is it the money?
I mean, yes, cooking for electorate and saying that you're giving them transportation. It means that we'll be seeing what we see in party politics in these local level elections, and probably...
Yeah, we are bringing it to the local government elections too. It's bad. But I condemn it in totality. You see, we have introduced the monocracy into elections. Every time people are paying bribes for people to vote for them, they interpret it to mean that they are giving them transportation. But that is not actually the case. People give money to people to vote for them. Whether they are even 10 kilometers away from where they are going to cast the ballot or whatever it is. It is always being said that they give them money for transport. But is that actually the case? It is not. And it's about time we realize that these things are not good enough for our politics.
Okay.
We are really debasing the concept of voting. Why do you have to buy or bribe somebody to go and vote for you? It is not nice.
All right.
I detest it.
Okay. Thank you so much, Mr. Ahin, for joining us here. Rafiq Salam is joining us from the Upper West region. Rafiq, grateful. What happened in the elections up north?
The election in the Upper West region went on peacefully. In the one municipality of the Upper West region, we have 90 persons who have filed to contest these elections. Out of these 90, 2 of them were women. And so in the one municipality, the last 4 years had one elected woman called Atawa, who was the only elected woman at the assembly. The information that we are getting indicates that she has lost her position to be an assembly member from the Konta electoral area. That's a really surprise here in the Wa municipality. You know, I told you about 2 females who contested in these elections. One also took place at the Campbell electoral area, where Sarah Fata also contested against the incumbent, and there's Masaudu Adam, and Masaudu Adam was able to win by a landslide victory in that electoral area. So it's been peaceful here in the Wa municipality, and then especially the Wa township.
But Rafiq, what about
when you go to the communities around? Hello.
What about turnout?
Hello.
How was the turnout in this election?
Turnout in the heart of the municipality. In the heart of the municipality was not all that encouraging, but in the outskirts of the one municipality, places like Pongu, John, and then Gole, there was heavy turnout in these areas. But I think that it has not exceeded more than 50%.
Okay, thank you very much. Rafiq Salam joining us from the Upper West region. Moving on to other stories. Some school authorities in the Techiman South constituency are unhappy with the conduct of the district assembly elections during school hours as the situation is affecting academic activities. They are, however, appealing to government to consider holding such electoral exercises during weekends, on holidays, or when schools are on vacation to whip up public interest in the exercise. And Sabit has more in this report.
So we are here at the Techiman Islamic primary polling center where election is already
on here in the Teshiman South constituency of the Bono East region. Voting started at 7. However, school is in session and school authorities are unhappy with the conduct of the exercise during school hours, particularly considering the fact that school is in session and the school is also writing exams. They say the exercise is conflicting with academic activities. We've been speaking with school authorities, and this is, what they've been saying in relation to this particular development.
Currently, we are having in an exams week, and at the same time, we are having an exam. And like you could see, exams and at the same time conduction of an election, and the two doesn't match. In fact, it is causing some sort of inconveniences among the teachers, the children, and even particularly looking at they are using our premises, our tables and chairs. So writing exams, some of the children we have to send some of the children out for the few desks around to cater for few ones who can take the exam as I'm speaking now. So after they are finished, then the rest also come and take. So it doesn't augur well for, writing exams and conducting election at the same time.
This is the Joe News Prime. We'll take a quick break. We'll be back with more news. Do stay. Welcome back from the break. Now, the company at the center of the controversy in the petroleum downstream sector, Strategic Mobilization Limited, is further embroiled in a contradiction. Whereas the managing director dismisses assertions that the operation of the company does not save revenue to the tune of $3 billion annually, his head of IT, Prince Sapon, defends the record. Investigations by the Fourth Estate reveals the SML had been awarded a 10-year contract by the finance minister worth over $100 million annually to monitor under-reporting, diversion, dilution of fuel product, and general non-compliance in the petroleum industry, something the NPA was already doing. The firm admitted to Fourth Estate investigators that they made false claims about making savings for the country through their operations. We can listen to the MD of the company, Christian Tete Soti.
The Fourth Estate also confronted the managing director of SML with the figures the company churned out as savings it made because of its operations. First was the claim in April 2021 that SML saved the state 1 billion Ghana cedis due to its operations.
If you use the 2019 as a base,
yes,
yes, subtract this one, you will get 1 billion for 2020.
800 million.
Okay, about 800 million. Okay.
Yes. The company started operations in 2020. From the revenue figures we obtained from the GRA, the difference in the total revenue from the downstream petroleum sector between 2019 and 2020 is 800 million cedis. If all the increment was attributed to the work of the company, it will still fall short of the 1 billion cedis it claimed to have saved. In February 2023, SML Ghana Limited again claimed that it had saved 3 billion cedis due to its operations. The company has admitted the services it listed on its website as curtailing irregularities in the sector did not exist and deleted them from the website. Even if SML was carrying out those services and all the incremental revenue within the period of its operations was credited to the company's efforts, the amount would be 2.4 billion cedis and not 3 billion cedis as it claimed to have saved. When we put these figures to the managing director, he made a shocking admission.
That's why that 3 billion I'm not. That's why I told you from the beginning. I said I don't know about this 3 billion.
We cannot say your intervention saved 3 billion.
No, I said 3 billion. I'm not. I've told you that I'm not aware, because when we were told about the publication, we even called the.
As we speak this morning, still on your website.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. In fact, to be honest, I don't even know website matter.
But head of IT at the media briefing, Prince Sapong, when he was briefing the media today, Prince Sapong is still defending the false claims.
Estimate what actually happened with the 3 billion is, as I talked about, the money is all about the volumes. So if there's an increase in volume, there's an increase in revenue. And since SML started operation, we can confidently say that there has been an average monthly increase of 100 million liters. So if you multiply it by 24 months, with the tax component that we are not even using the 1.74, we are using the old tax component, which is 1.44, that will arrive at the 3 billion that we talked about.
Meanwhile, head engineer of petroleum, Hamdan Abubakari, has also been dismissing claims that the company does not churn out accurate data.
Okay, the allegation that SML's flow meters are not accurate is false. If you look at the technical data sheets of these ultrasonic flow meters we use, they show the accuracy level of these ultrasonic flow meters. Our ultrasonic flow meters are being calibrated by Ghana Standard Authority semi-annually. That's twice every year. And upon attainment of the calibration certificate, it is always established that our flow meters is always within an acceptable range of which the device is set to operate. We sometimes do have an accuracy level of even less than 0.1%. At the topmost, we have an accuracy level of about 0.8 to 1%. That is in an instance where the temperatures are very high, since we know MPA has directed the depots to load at 20 degrees Celsius. So when SML came into existence in 2019, that is upon awardment of the contract, it was established that SML went to the depots with the intention of installing contact type of flow meters. That is the chlorus flow meters or the positive displacement type of flow meters. But upon engaging with the depot operators and some MPO officials, it was established that if SML goes to install these ultrasonic flow meters, it means SML will have to cut the pipe, modify the pipes before they get to install these positive displacement type of flow meters.
Well, Manasseh Azurawuni joins us via Zoom now. Manasseh, grateful to you for joining us. What do you make of the latest response from SML on the back of your investigations? First, head of IT is still insisting on the $3 billion annual savings with the operations.
In fact, I sent a recording to the reporter of the multimedia group, Joy News, who was at this program. And this recording is actually a recording of this same Prince Sapong, who in July this year, when we went there and the managing director of the company said that we should, the figures, they couldn't stand by the figures. Prince Sapong was actually there and he insisted that the managing director was right and that he did the presentation that day and that the media was what misquoted them. And he even said that we cannot talk about revenue because we are not GRA. So it is strange that this person is not only contradicting the managing director, who is superior to him, but he is contradicting himself. And we have that recording, which we've made available to the multimedia group. And I hope that maybe in your subsequent bulletins, you will play for the entire country to know how this company almost every day seems to have a different position on their own issues.
All right. Now, we know you've petitioned the Office of the Special Prosecutor. What's the latest on that?
Well, the information I have, because we got information that some of the reporters asked why Christian Tetesuti was not available, and they said that he had been invited by the Office of the Special Prosecutor. The information I have is that the Office of the Special Prosecutor has not extended an invitation to anybody, and I have confirmed this with sources to that office. And so we haven't heard what has been done, but I can say that no invitation has been sent. And just briefly, the Hamdan where the head of engineering also spoke about the meters. In fact, if you watch that documentary, I put a specific question to him that there are meters and existing meters, which of them takes more, which of these two takes more accurate readings?
Okay.
And what existed before SML came takes more accurate reading, and he answered that, and that is a fact that they cannot deny.
Okay, all right. Thank you very much, Manasseh Azure Awune there. Now, in the heart of the anticipated lithium mining in the central region is Ewoya, a community of charcoal producers brimming with anticipation and dreams of a brighter future. Another affected community, Krofo, is however proceeding with caution, citing insufficient engagement with the company to understand fully the scope of the work ahead. Here is water cameras captured from the two communities.
One
What we've heard is that work will soon begin, but we haven't seen it yet. And that is what we're waiting for. We're waiting for the mining to begin.
Auntie Mensime, a resident of Ewoya, expressing optimism in the prospect of the lithium mining in this area. Her optimism is being actualized by Atlantic Lithium with the announcement of an employment opportunity. The chief of Ewoya, Nana Mbrono Edu IX, says aside the announcement, the company has already employed some of the citizens.
We're training Nkwofu by Miensa, as I was our word minimum. Charcoal business.
They have trained about 3 people who are currently working. There used to be no jobs here apart from the charcoal business. Previously, when you come to this town, you will see no one around. But now, because of Atlantic Lithium, most of the youth are now employed. We are content with what Atlantic Lithium is doing here.
He describes Atlantic Lithium as a good social partner to his community.
I was here when they brought the plan. The road contract has been awarded. All the engineers that came, I met them in Accra and brought them here. They have opened up about a lot of things they plan to do to help the communities.
I meet Charles Adofo, a native of Ewoya and employed as a technician at Atlantic Lithium.
People's lives have been changed. I am currently employed. I now have enough money to support my mother and my family. It has been very beneficial to me. The majority of the men who were unemployed and took advantage of the opportunity now have jobs. You can be a casual worker and earn around 120 cedis if you are not a contractor.
120 cedis, 110 cedis a day.
He explains that though the company is only undertaking exploration activities, many people from the catchment areas are already benefiting from the work of Atlantic Lithium.
For now, almost 10 to 15. Okay.
The company has employed 10 to 15 individuals and is not limited to one town. The permanent staff in this town consists of 5 to 6 persons, including my senior brother and I.
5 or 6. Okay. For permanent. For permanent.
For people who are mainly charcoal producers and petty traders, Charles says the conditions with the employment at Atlantic Lithium are life-changing.
I hope they start working soon because there are no jobs in the central region. They have not disappointed us since they arrived because when Atlantic Lithium arrived, they hired and trained indigenous workers. They've done an excellent job.
Auntie Mensime says they expect Atlantic Lithium to serve as a catalyst for positive change in their lives once the mining operations starts.
Oh,
Oh, we know that when jobs come to a community, it brings economic life. It makes it possible for you to succeed in everything you do.
So this is a Woya community, a community of around 350 inhabitants. This is one of the many communities in which the lithium has been discovered in commercial quantity. This is where Barari DV Limited will be having their mining setup. We understand that residents here are waiting for the commencement of this mining. However, just a short drive away in Krofu, a contrasting tale unfolds. This community, also reliant on charcoal production, is worried of the impending changes. Jasper is a youth activist here.
They will just come to your farm, destroy something, give you a penny of money. When you ask them, they say they have a license from the government for them to do a prospecting or something like that. So we just kept quiet. Not long ago, we saw them mounting their posters or something like that, like they are going to do a mining and other things. We are still trying to get in touch with the elders. It seems like there was not much mass education on. We don't even know what they are going to do.
This is still Joy News Prime. We'll take a quick break. We'll be back with Showbiz. Do stay. Well, welcome back from the break and time for us to do Showbiz. I don't know, the director is laughing at the back there. I don't know what he's laughing about, but yeah, it's fine. We don't know what's happening, but
I know, right?
What's up?
Well, nothing much. Today we starting with the music maestro Kojo Enchi. He will headline Night for the Stars musical concert in Kumasi on December 25th, 2023. The Christmas Day event is billed to be the biggest concert in the Garden City this Yuletide. Gearing up for the event, the legendary Kojo Enchi says he's ready to spice up the festivities with quality musical performance.
It's the best place to be. You know the reason why I say that? Tell me. Okay. Accra, you have everybody flocking to Accra. It's the capital. But when I come here, and you need be a bear woman. When I say, exactly. Exactly. So this is the place to be. When I'm performing for them, each song means something else for someone, and it's a good place to be. What was last time? It's a privilege that someone will say, I'm paying this amount to go listen to Kojo Enchi and the other crew, KD, King Promise
will be there, Kofi Kinata will be there, Akwaba Junior will be there, yeah.
If they come to listen to us, it's a blessing to us. At a certain point, I was feeling I am a blessing to them. No, but if they come to spend that time to come and listen to you, it's a blessing. The people, okay, the people must motivate me. Here in Kumasi, I'll do as long as they want me to.
That's nice.
Listen, I used to play in a band called the Classic Handles, the Classic Vibe. We used to play 6 hours on stage. 6 hours with an hour break. So I'll say about 5 hours. I'm used to that. I've been doing that for ages now.
Yeah.
Okay. Do you agree that Kumasi is the best place to perform this Christmas?
Well, he's a maestro. I won't argue with him, but the thing is Takrady. Takrady is the place to be. Takrady in the Western region. So we have Takrady, you move to Ahanta West, Ahanta First, and what have you.
Well, we'll argue about that later. Now, Celine Dion's sister Claudette Dion has shared an honest update for the chart-topping singer a year after her stiff person syndrome diagnosis was revealed. According to Dion's sister, who spoke with 7 Jours per Daily Mail, though my heart will go on artiste doesn't have control over her muscles. Well, yeah, she is still alive, and that's still good news. Now, Emmy-nominated actor Jonathan Meyer, known widely in movies like Avengers, Creed, and The Ant-Man, has been dropped by Marvel Studios after he was convicted of assaulting his then-girlfriend. Marvel's Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania, which was released a month before Major's arrest. Jabari was working as a movement coach, and Majors was playing the time-traveling villain who remains aka Kang the Conqueror. Majors is set to be sentenced in February and faces up to a year in prison for third-degree assault charge. For Joy News, I am Jacqueline Asuma Iabo. That's sad.
Very, very, very. All of us should be, we should take care when we're dealing with some of these things. But
yeah.
All the best to the parties. One has been incarcerated, right?
Yeah, sure.
Let's see what happens. Anyway, on that note, we conclude the prime news for you. There is more on myjoyonline.com.